Bona tarda a tothom. Benvinguts a la roda de premsa del tècnic del Futbol Club Barcelona.
Welcome to the press conference of head coach Xavi Hernández ahead of Barça Athletic in matchday 26 in La Liga Santander. In the last press conference, you said that Athletic Club is a team that have very clear ideas. Given the improvement and the elimination of the cup, what can we expect for tomorrow? I don't think we will see them change up many things. Marcelino has the clear idea how he wants to play. He is a great coach, knows how he wants to work. His teams are very physically strong. They sit back and defend very well. We've got a very difficult opponents that we face tomorrow. They've beaten us. Last time we faced them was they have a very difficult and probably their most important game of the season next week, the semi-final of the Cup. We'll see if anything changes for them, but we need to consolidate all of the good things that we are doing. We're a different team from when we last faced them in January. We're in a good moment now. We know that tomorrow will be complicated.
Què tal, Xavi? Ramon Salmorri de Catalunya Ràdio, en directe també a Catalunya Informació. Deies ara, som un equip diferent.
You said that we're a different team now from January. In that sense,
Marcelino ja ha parlat de les diferències del Barça d'avui.
Marcelino also spoke about the differences of Barça. How will that affect the game tomorrow? And how will that affect how you plan to play Athletic? Doesn't change much. We've improved in many aspects of the game. We circulate the ball. We have more resources now, more players that can play with the ball and attack. Players have more confidence. We got a moral boost from the wins, and we've improved. But we need to demonstrate that each and every game. Tomorrow is another exam against an opponent who are in good form. They beat Real Sociedad in the derby 4-0. Goes to show that they're working things well, doing things well, and they're a complicated opponent. We've improved, but we need to confirm that tomorrow.
Bona tarda, Laia Coll de RAC1. Voldria saber com estan Memphis Depay i també l'Anglès.
How are Memphis and Longley?
Perquè la primera part vam veure un Memphis molt
And what role will Memphis have as of now?
Deies l'altre dia, hi ha hagut molts canvis al davant, ara tens més gent.
You have more players to choose from, so what will his role be? They're training with normality, they're 100%. Unless anything unexpected happens, they'll be ready for tomorrow. There's more competition in the entire team. But Memphis will be important for us, the same as Clément Lenglet. It's good for me to have more players to choose from and for the players to improve, make sure they give their all. They are two important football players. Both Lenglet and Memphis will be important for the team. It'll depend on them.
Hola, Xavi. Bona tarda. Adrià Albeig de la cadena SER. El otro día en Nápoles vimos
the other day in Naples, we saw how President Laporta celebrated with the rest of the board members the win. Yesterday he said that winning the league is still remains an objective of this team. Do you understand this euphoria or excitement after a difficult time that the club has went through, or should we dampen the spirits a bit? No, I think it's good. We have to be excited, but also realistic and remain humble. Continue to work calmly, game after game. We need to demonstrate and consolidate the improvements in tomorrow's game. It's going to be a final. I still have the same speech from when I arrived. Winning La Liga is going to be very difficult. The numbers show that. But I don't want to discard it neither. It's the same speech. I'm happy that the president is euphoric and excited. He's proven to be brave. He's a natural leader, and I'm happy with it.
Buenas tardes, Xavi. Víctor Navarro para el tiempo de juego de la cadena COPE. Hablaba ahora mi compañero del presidente de la Junta Directiva. La afición
You're just asked about the president.
entusiasmada por lo que vio.
The fans are also excited and enthusiastic after the games against Valencia, Napoli, and Athletic.
Por la calle, ¿cómo está viviendo esta nueva ilusión que le ha devuelto la afición del Barça? Gracias.
How are you experiencing all this excitement? Well, I'm also very happy when I see the fans at the outside of the Ciudad Esportiva in town. It makes me happy. We need to continue to work with the same sacrifice and humility as before and leave it all out on the pitch in every game. At Barça, only the wins count. We can't draw. And we need to make sure that our fans are proud of us for us giving our maximum effort. I think that's the feeling that the fans have now. We have a team that is going to give their all, and we're happy to transmit this excitement to the fans. Recently, the Camp Nou has been a spectacle. The fans are with us, and we appreciate all of the support.
Hola, mister. ¿Qué tal? Alejandro Segura, en directo para Radio Marca. Le preguntaba a usted a principio de mes sobre este Tourmalet que tenía el Barça, ¿no? Un mes complicado.
You were asked about this difficult month,
complicados.
Both difficult away and home games in this month of February.
¿Qué quiere Xavi Hernández?
Have you now seen the Barça that you were waiting for? We need to improve. We need to improve in many aspects. We still lose a lot of unnecessary balls. We need to be embarrassed by losing these balls. We need to be responsible for our actions and defend better from set plays. We have a lot of points that we need to improve from, but it's also evident that we're also improving a lot. So we need to continue to work, give our all, and continue down this road and try to improve. We can't say that we're at a very high level at the moment. Certain moments, yes. Other moments, not so much. But we still have room left for improvement. The other day, you scored a goal on a counter-attack, and that generated some debate after you lost against Madrid, who also scored goals on a counter-attack. What do you make of this now? No, I didn't say that. I mean, Madrid beat us on the counter-attack, and we also caught Napoli off guard with the same, but that's football. When they press us high and there's space between the last line and the goalkeeper, we try to exploit that space. I remember Stoichkov also taking advantage, or Henry in the Bernabeu, where I, for example, gave him the pass for the 6-2. You try to take advantage of the spaces generated, and that's it. That's football. That's part of Barça DNA. Everything fits. Also, we can score goals from corners, and also not conceding goals from corners. Our style of play doesn't change. We just try to take advantage, to score goals against our opponents, and try to take advantage of the spaces generated throughout the game. There's no problem.
Hola, Xavi Lemus de TV3. La versió brillant que es va veure l'altre dia de Frenkie de Jong, et volia demanar si és la versió que tu esperaves del jugador.
Is that the version of Frenkie de Jong that you were expecting, that we saw against Napoli? Well, first of all, I want to talk about his personality. He's very self-critical. He's very motivated. When asked, he said he can play much better. It's very hard to play better than the game that he played last time against Napoli. He's able to keep up this level and make the difference, to try shots from outside the box. He needs to be important and detrimental for this team, or opponents rather, and he's receives a lot of criticism, but he's in form right now. He's very capable. We work with a lot of him. We work with him individually with a lot of videos so that he can improve. He's very humble, and it's very hard to find a player like him. He's an excellent football player.
Hola Xavi, buena tarde. David Ibáñez de Mediaset. El gol este que te hablaba ahora.
The goal that my partner was referring to
los 11 jugadores del Barça tocaron el balón.
Had 20 touches, and
hasta que llegó el
Barça players
es una acción que a muchos
were on the ball for about 1 minute.
Por lo que nos han dicho.
It's a goal that a lot of Barça fans enjoyed.
Apenas hace unas semanas que también pues.
How times have changed in just a week when you were still getting a lot of criticism. Yes, and I'll still be on the end of more criticism. I know where I'm at. I understand my role. I have a lot of responsibilities in my job, and I accept the criticism. Everything counts. Playing well, winning, on and off the pitch, in the press room. I know where I'm at. I'm at the best club of the world where you can't just win, you need to also play well. Which is why you talk about these 22, 23 touches. That's what the people like. We want to implement again the style that made us great. We can win or lose, but we want the people to identify with the style of play of the team. That's fundamental, and I want to continue to work on this. But I accept the criticism. I did so as a player. I know that this week I received praise, winning 4-2 and playing good, but we know that next week the opposite can happen. I'm not this week the most beautiful man in the world. Next week, if we lose, I won't be the ugliest neither. We just need to continue to work.
Àlex, Maria Franquet, pel diari El Correo. Volia preguntar-te, perquè a l'Atlètic la novetat és la tornada de Nico Williams. Volia preguntar-te per ell I el seu germà, que
I wanted to ask you about Iñaki Williams and his brother, who are back now with the team. What's your opinion? Yes, both Nico and Iñaki Williams are very fast players. On the counter, they know how to take advantage of the spaces, what we were referring to just before. We need to try to stop them to not hurt us on the counter. It's going to be difficult because they're very fast. They understand the spaces very well. They know how to implement the kick and run model. They're not just physically gifted, but also technically able to generate plays themselves or for the team. We're talking about a very good athletic team.
Joan. Sí, hola, bona tarda. Joan Poquí, de Mundo Deportivo. Abans d'ahir la nit, el Barcelona va fer un grandíssim partit.
The other night, Barça played a great game against Naples.
2-4.
And in the end, the score was 4-2, tighter than what we saw. Are you worried that your team is still receiving too many goals? Yes, we need to improve that area. We need to make sure to leave the goals or score line at 0. We know that the opponents also play, but we need to try to close down our goal to receive less chances from our opponents. Sometimes we lose our concentration in important moments. We can improve in many areas, but particularly that area would be important for us. It's both from the short and mid-term perspective.
Hola, aquí, Didac Pairet del Lleida Esport. Una de les coses que ens està sorprenent més segurament és la posició dels interiors, lo alts que estan jugant, lo que estan movent.
Interiors
Fins i tot recordant el Barça
is something that has changed a lot. It reminds us of how Guardiola uses those positions.
Interior amb el que tu estàs intentant aportar I el que portava el Guardiola, I si tu et veuries en aquest Barça actual.
Are you inspiring on that model? Yes, I would like to. Of course, I would love to be out there and play even. I enjoyed it very much when I did, and I hope that the players that I have now are enjoying it as well. To have the two pivots hit our opponents.
És la situació
But really, it depends on the game. It depends on the play, whether we
és el moment d'atacar l'espai,
take advantage of the depth or the space.
que arribin a l'atac.
We try to make sure that they're involved in the attack and score important goals.
A mi d'alguna manera, quan el Rijkaard em va fer jugar d'interior, no sé,
Rijkaard also had me playing that position.
amb el Gavi
I try to do the same with Pedri, Gavi, Nico.
poden jugar allà.
They're all players that can play in that position and make a difference and score goals.
Estem generant moltes ocasions a mi.
We're generating a lot of chances on goal from that position, and I'm happy with it.
Xavi, Carles Ruiz Pérez del diari La Vanguardia. En 3 dels últims 5 partits l'equip ha...
3 of the 5 games, the team has scored 4 goals.
Vau fer un esforç important per portar nous davanters. Creus que...
During the winter market, you got new forwards
Com valoraries la seva feina i si creus que és molt important
coming to the position.
fer... obrir per al joc del Barça, tenir un gol d'avantatge aviat si és important.
Sí, avui en dia,
Yeah.
com està el futbol, doncs que ells
Nowadays,
d'equips s'estanquen al darrere i defensen molt bé.
most of the teams
És molt
defend
transcendent en el joc, no?
very well, and
S'han d'obrir una mica més, i han de...
it's hard to score goals. You need to try to open the defense a little bit more and
futbolistes com el Ferran Torres.
attack them, but having players like Adama, Oba, and Ferran Torres for us is incredible. Not just from a goal-scoring perspective, but also how they generate chances, how they understand and interpret space. Ferran, even though he's young, he's already experienced, as well as Oba and Adama, which is why they're having such a big impact on this team.
Hola, Xavi. David Riol de Televisión Española. Hablabas de que estáis encajando demasiado
You talked about that you're receiving too many goals
en los 17 partidos.
in the last
¿A qué crees que
17 games. Only twice did you end up with 0 goals conceded.
Bueno, porque debemos mejorar en
Why is that? Well, because we need to improve in many areas in our defensive line, be concentrated from set plays, eliminate individual errors. We can talk about a specific area, but we need to improve in various and be critical. Certain things we're doing very well and other things we're doing bad, which is why we have that margin of improvement. We need to get better to be more solid, more consistent, and then we can improve. And if we can do so by winning, then all the better. We can be more solid and also more credible as a coach if we continue to win, and we can rectify and correct things easier.
Hola Xavi, buena tarde. Marc Fuster para La Sexta y Antena 3. El otro día no había terminado aún el
The other day,
buen amigo tuyo.
the game wasn't finished yet, but your good friend Carles Puyol tweeted that he placed a bet that you would win the league. What do you think of that? Well, whether or not I win the league, I'll go out for dinner with him anyway, because he's a great friend of mine and he has a lot of trust in me, and it makes me happy. He's a very positive guy, and hopefully, I would have loved to have him in the dressing room. He's spectacular. I thank him, and we're going to fight for this. We know the difficulty of the task at hand. It's not easy. We are down a lot of points. We don't depend on ourselves, but we're going to try. We're going to fight until mathematics tell us we have no more chance.
Hola Xavi, Joel Claramunt en directe al Twitch de Gigantes. Com veus l'evolució de Dest, aquests bons...
How do you see the evolution of Dest?
Quin paper tindrà quan Alves
And
torni
what role will he have when Alves will return? Serginho is doing great. The last month and a half, he's been playing very well. We've corrected a lot of things from him defensively. Also on offense, he provides a lot. The other game, he also tried to shoot himself. He's good. and we appreciate his efforts. When I arrived, he was a little injured, he wasn't comfortable, but now he's 100%, and he is the level to compete here. There's competence, there's competition in his position for Óscar Mínguez as well, but it's up to them.
Xavi, Joan Seixas de Radio Nacional de España. Hablabas ahora del gran rendimiento de los
He talked about the great effectiveness of the winter signings. Are you surprised at all by any of them, at how quickly they've integrated? And do you think that without these signings, would you have had also been able to reach your objectives of ending in the top 4 or trying to fight for the league? Well, I don't know. That's a hypothesis, a hypothetical situation that doesn't make any sense to talk about. Obama hasn't surprised me. He's already been showing it his entire career, and he works hard with a lot of humility for the team, how he works, how he presses, and how excited he is. Adama has surprised me in his decision-making abilities. Sometimes we saw that his decision-making wasn't the best, but now it is. And Ferran Torres, I asked Planes or Mateo Alemán for that signing, and he's spectacular. He's incredible, the work that he provides and how he works for the team, how he associates with his teammates. We're talking about a player of a top level. Perhaps he's the one that surprises me the most. I already liked him before. He was a fantastic signing. Of course, we want goals from him, but I can tell you he's a marvelous football player.